BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your #1 source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, college basketball to NHL and UFC, BetOnline is your #1 sports betting source for the new year. Every touchdown to three-pointer and hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here. Hello, hello, hello. It's Private Talk Podcast with Alexis, Texas, and we are back, Season 6, and today we have the pleasure of having comedian Sam J. Hello,
What's
and
up?
welcome to Private Talk.
Thank you. What's up?
I'm excited to get to know you a little bit more, have a more one-on-one conversation, and get to know all the things about Sam J.
I'm excited too. Let's do it.
Are you ready for me?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
I stay ready.
Stay ready. I like that. We were talking before we started, and I had to get that out of the way of you watch my movies.
I've seen.
You dabbled?
I've seen.
You dabbled.
I don't buy porn.
Okay.
So.
But who buys porn these days? Unfortunately, you all should buy porn or have a subscription to OnlyFans like mine. But
definitely I've seen Twitter porn clips.
Okay.
I'm an ex-hamster person.
Okay, so you're naughty with the free porn is what you're admitting to us here now, live on Private.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll pull you over to the other side and make you have at least a subscription of some of your favorites. Maybe not. Maybe dabble a little bit more.
It feels real. I should maybe, just out of the support of the porno community.
Exactly.
I should do it, right?
And that's where I feel like we're.
So what happens with the free porn? Because I never even thought about this. I never even thought about porn rights.
This is why we're here, guys. And that's the thing is we don't get paid at all. It's basically
I thought it was
just
you
like
get
when
some bread.
someone steals your music or your content, whatever.
And they could dedicate whole sites to this and make money, but you don't make any money?
No.
Now, I don't like that.
At all.
I think you need to tell the people.
We have, and the people like to do what you're doing. And unfortunately, sometimes when we don't have the conversations that we're having, we don't know those things. But that's also why people in platforms like OnlyFans kind of started going around and having a third-party person, but where we had more ownership. So
you know what it is? We have to fix, because I know why I don't subscribe to porn is because, it makes me feel like I'm committing to some, nasty shit. I'm really,
but aren't you in the act?
I really want the nasty shit to be a part of my life.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm
so it's like a gym membership. You're like, how can I ever get out? It's something that's don't know if you can you have a letter in the mail from Pornhub or somewhere being
Yeah, it's it feels
tell
like
us the real reason why. Are you moving? Are you doing? What are the terms that they make it so difficult?
It feels like such a now I'm a porn nigga.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Where it's when I just pop in and out, watch a little freak smut, I'm just
okay.
Oh, that was my mood today.
Okay.
Versus every month I'm giving up the bread. Then it's this. I'm committing to being this type of person.
But don't you think that in the flip side, what if I really was an avid fan of your work, right? Yeah. And I need to get off in that way of getting the fulfillment of laughing and make me feel good. And I just want it for free, but you have it on sale, but I'm gonna take it for free.
No, you're right. It's wrong.
But I'm gonna get mine, so I'm gonna take it for free.
You're right. You're right. I'm gonna buy some porn every month. I'm committing on the show.
Compromise.
I will purchase some level of porno every month.
Compromise. We love that here at Private Talk. It's all about manifesting.
Because I'm a good person,
want.
and that's what I'm gonna tell people when they ask. I'm this has nothing to do with me.
And the people who do it are good people too.
Yeah, y'all gotta make one of those Save the Children commercials. And just be hey, bro.
I always say I got this from someone early on in my career. It's we're people helping people one time.
It's true.
And I feel like that's a real life job.
You keep a lot of people safe.
Exactly. A lot of crime would happen if they weren't
a lot of
time.
A lot more buildings blowing up. You know what I mean?
I don't know about any of that, but yeah, hey. I know what kind of porn you like, huh?
I run the gambit.
Okay, so this is a gamble. Whatever pops up as a free ad or what's going on?
Nah, I'm not like a scavenger. It's not just
But that's what I'm saying. But you say it's always random.
I'm not in a dumpster of porn.
No, but you're doing how they tell you your phone and all these devices listen to you, right? So they know what you like. So there's probably some girl or an Alexis, Texas ad that pops up and maybe you like it, click on it, maybe not.
It just depends on my mood.
So how many times are you mad?
Not that much. Nah, it's not crazy for me.
Maybe a week's time.
Oh, I might go a week, 2 weeks.
Okay, is that because you have a lot of sex? Or is that
No.
because you're just not a highly sexual person?
It's so weird. I am a highly sexual person when I'm around somebody I want to fuck a lot.
Okay.
But if that's not around, then I'm just like,
okay.
I don't know if it's like the Capricorn in me that we're so business, like people say we're so business minded and like workaholics and that type of shit. But like, if that's not around, then I'm just like,
so if it's
and
not
I'm just
around,
like doing whatever I'm doing.
The person may not be around, but when that's not around either, when it's someone that you want to entertain, you won't even pleasure yourself?
I don't
Or it just doesn't do anything for you?
I don't need to like that. Like, it will happen eventually.
Yeah.
But it's not like, I'm not super
like
horny.
You're not jonesing to go and do it. Like
I'm not super horny unless I'm like actively fucking someone.
Okay. I like that. See, we already got into the porn questions. That wasn't even where I was going, but you know, I feel like, you know, it just kind of came out.
Yeah, no.
Eventually, you know, organically.
That's where we were, and we have to go with our guts.
With our guts. So what is like your porn search history if you like, if I was to look at your phone right now, right? And just say, obviously you don't look at porn all the time, but if I was to look at the after you watched the porn, what would I see on your screen?
Like, what would be the video?
Yeah, like what type? Like if it's girl on girl, if it's like boy girl, if it's solo stuff, it's just...
never solo.
Okay.
I never want to just watch people touch themselves. That just never does it for me.
You just go in there?
Lot of
Expecting that.
Yeah, a lot of stepmom, a lot of stepmom caught me somewhere shit. Gay porn, like gay guy porn.
Okay.
I don't really like lesbian porn that much, actually.
Okay.
I think it's because I do it. Like, for me, a porno site is like a store.
Okay.
You know, it's like, it's voyeurism. It's like, I'm going to go do shit I don't do. I want to see people fuck the way I don't do it. Like,
because then why are you doing it? Yeah.
That's how I feel personally.
Yeah.
So, like, just watching lesbians, and a lot of times they don't even be real lesbians, like fake eat.
How do you know they're not real lesbians?
Interesting. You could tell by how they eat.
Like,
or at least how committed they are to lesbian. I'm like, I'm not saying they never did some lesbian shit, but there's a way like straight bitches have gay sex.
Can you give us an example?
Where you're like, this ain't how lesbians
like a technique?
Fuck
like, what's
other.
the example? Like,
it's still, it's kind of the way they like. It's like very like childish. It's not like a grown man that just wants to eat.
It's
box.
like you're not really want to devour. You're like sticking your tongue like. It's
yeah,
like that
exactly.
strong tongue where you're like.
Yeah, it's not devour. Like playing little.
This is also why, as for me, not to make this about me, but when I started doing girls in porn, because I didn't start off the bat doing that, I had never been with a female, was I only worked with females that liked females, because you can definitely tell, and I only wanted people who actually liked eating my know how to eat. So it's like, it's got to be an even exchange, or why do it? Because if you're just poking around down there, I ain't got
you're
time
a real
for that.
craftsman and you care.
Exactly.
I respect that.
I get my job done. Get my job done. So talking about jobs, so what drew you to comedy? What made you like that's defining moment to where you knew that was your path?
I always liked it, liked comedy. You know, I was like, even when I was very young, like I used to love Bill Cosby. You know what I'm saying? And like. My mom watched a lot of comics, so comedy was kind of like all my sitcoms were, of course, just a big deal in the 80s and early 90s, but like she was very much like the comics, so like Bob Newhart and Taxi and like that type of shit. So it was kind of always around me, and I had a big funny family, you know, love to joke and stuff, but I didn't really like know like, oh, this is like what I'm going to do until a lot later, actually. Like I turned that corner at 29, you know what I mean? Kind of just from being in a place of just like always wanting to do it and knowing it like it was in me, but being like scared to kind of chase it and feeling like my life was super like ass and average, and I was just like, bro, is this really gonna be it? Like I always felt like there's something more for me. I don't know how to explain that or where that type of feeling even comes from.
It's just in you.
It just was in me, you know, but it was like, damn, I'm really working in a mailroom with no windows, you know what I'm saying? Just like getting on a train.
Like, is this it?
You know, and like I see where the highest level of this is, and that's my manager who's sitting in a cubicle across from me, and his only joy is getting a new iPhone when it comes out. And it's like that I will probably end up shooting myself in the head eventually if this stays like this.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, yo, go towards your fear and just like see what the fuck happens.
So with all of that being said, and that's a big, you know, things to really be aware about, and really also like as much as like it's a big task, it's like such a good thing to be aware at that young age. Even at 29, it's like we start from somewhere, right? But what was that like turning point that was like, yeah, you showed up and you're like, is this everything? But like really made you go now dive into this path of comedy? Like who pushed you, or maybe what pushed you to kind of get you into now? Like now you're like, fuck it, I'm just gonna gamble on myself. This is what I really want to do. Like I gotta try something. What was that something?
That's what I'm saying. There was really no real like one moment, I don't think. Well, there was a moment when I was like, bitch, you're a loser. And that feeling made me go like, you better give this your all.
Okay.
Like from the first mic I went to, I told myself I was going to do it for a year no matter what. And I was just going to like really like fucking drill down on it and see what happened. And it was because like my life had kind of came full circle, and I was in Atlanta, and it was this group of kids that would hang out with my homegirl. We had our own apartment, and they was always like crashing and like trying to sleep on our floor and like living with us. And like I loved them, but it was like these are kind of some like bummy niggas, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then I got so fucked up in Atlanta. I was staying with another one of my friends, sleeping on her floor, and one of the niggas used to sleep out my floor one night. Comes in the house. She had a roommate. I never met him. And he comes in late, and it's one of these dudes who used to sleep on my floor. And I'm like, yo. And he's like, oh, damn, I didn't even know you was the friend that needed to crash. And he's like all together now and like has a room. You know what I mean? And like I'm on a floor. And I was like, bro.
But that's real shit,
This has
though.
come like full circle in a way that I do not like. Like I really got to reassess what the fuck I'm doing with myself.
So what'd you do?
Took my ass home because I needed to do that. Went back to Boston and kind of mended shit with my family that had gotten weird and funky. Started working, just, you know. And then I was like a half a like year into working in that mailroom. And I was like, I'm gonna just try.
So all this time, were you writing stuff, or did things just come out your head?
I was
like, because it's like that is also something that you say you have a funny family, and you know it comes natural at certain things, but like, how did that process start? I
was doing like sneaky shit, like I would come up with bits, and then I would like go to a bar, and I would like sit next to a stranger, and I would like spark a conversation, and I would like sneak the bit in there, and then like see if the stranger laughed, and then I'd be like, okay, that may be something that might work with more people. Like that's how it was, like little nerd shit,
Smart,
but like little test.
You're running your own like experiments.
Very calculated. You know, I'm very calculated when I think about how to execute things. And then I would do like shit at parties that I've been thinking about, but they were really like thought out bits. Like I knew pace by pace, like kind of where they were going. And then one night I was at my cousin's, and I was doing this bit about being and a bit I ended up actually using, a bit that still works to this day, but which is crazy because it was before I ever got to say. But I was doing this whole thing about being how I don't like it actually. Like tricky, and I was like, yo, it moves like mercury, you can't catch it. And everybody was fucking dying, and I called my friend back in Atlanta, and I was like, bro, I'm gonna just do this shit. Like that was, because you asked the moment, that was the moment. I had to think. So that was the moment.
Strap in.
Yeah.
We're buckle up. We're going.
Yeah. Well, you could say strap in. That's appropriate.
Strap in. Strap it on. You like to strap it, huh?
You know what? Yes and no.
Okay, so how big
At first, I like to do it because I want to like assert dominance, and I want the girl to know like, hey, I can fuck good.
Okay.
But then after a while, it's like, bro, I don't feel this shit. Can you leave me alone? You know?
So did you feel it the first time?
No, but I it's about winning.
Because then it's like, at that point, are you just tired of it's time to move on?
It's
because
both.
It's like, if you can't keep it entertaining, then
it's probably both.
Whose problem is it?
It's probably a little bit of both, but also I just think like it's a lot of work to be strapping bitches, bro.
I mean, that's the job you chose.
It's a lot.
Or did it choose you?
Did I? I don't know.
Or did it choose
but
you?
It's a lot. It's a lot of work, and it's you know what? It's a lot of delusion. You got to do a lot of mind shit too. So it's like. It's just like
that's how
OD time with it sometimes.
For me, I have to be stimulated mind-wise for my So
Absolutely.
It's like, at that point, if your mind's not in it, then you know.
But it's also like the moves. Like if you're trying to strap a girl and you want to keep the shit like all in the fantasy of what's
your favorite
happening,
go-to move?
You have to first. You can't you have to slick put on the. You can't You can't. That's the hardest part because you can't break the. You can't break
the slick. Put on the.
You can't break the illusion
so
to be like, hold on, let me put on my. Yeah,
wait,
you gotta do it. You gotta do it in a way where it doesn't seem like too much. Cause women, once it's a lot to do, it's like the longer that takes, the more they're coming out of it. So you gotta boom, and then you also don't want her to. You want her to feel like she getting fucked for real. So it's like you don't want her to. She knows it's fake.
You sneak put it on and don't even let them know you have it on.
Yes, and then
every time,
and then you just gotta drop. That's how it would happen in real life.
Okay.
Right? I'm wrong. I'm fucked up about this. No, I'm just saying, yeah, like,
okay.
If you gotta keep the whole thing, like.
What's your go-to? Do you like go to the bathroom and you already have it set up? Do you have like a room?
Yeah,
like, do you have,
and I'm gonna have some shorts on.
Okay.
Bong. I'm gonna put it on.
Are you gonna leave the shorts on?
I'm gonna leave the shorts on.
Okay.
At first, we like making out, zap, zap, zap. Once it gets to that point, it's like, boom, shorts off. That's right. We're there. Okay. You don't even got to see it.
Okay.
It's just like.
How big is it?
I have more than one.
Okay. What's the biggest?
I don't know.
You
inches.
know.
Maybe.
You just told me a whole lot without telling me a whole lot, right? You said dominance. It's a winning. It's this. So you know what you want that with. You want to secure the win. What bringing out? And I know it has a name too.
No, I don't name.
How do you know what have then?
I feel like it depends on the woman. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so you're like, hey, but you said it's a sneak.
You could tell. You're like, I'm not gonna be crazy with this lady. You know what I'm saying? To bring out some like. First of all, I don't my get that big because I don't believe in that. So maybe I feel like
this.
That's kind of crazy. I would say maybe like 9.5.
That's this.
Is it? Then it gotta be maybe 7.
Measure it.
8. Maybe like 8. Maybe like 8. I feel like it's like if this to the elbow is probably like.
Yeah, you touched it.
Right. And
the thickness?
Thick, like the right stick.
Wrap it around. Is it the same or not?
Nah, not crazy. Not that. like a respectable.
So I would have a thick one. Is what you said. You just said my.
A respectable amount of thickness, but also we're like together like that. I'm gonna take you to the store and let you pick want.
Okay.
Because you should decide.
So when a relationship is over, do you get rid of because they were chosen by somebody else?
New chick, new like you cannot bring old.
Do you have a favorite one?
I'm okay. I will say that I'm conflicted about this. Right? There's a part of me that believes fully new chick. One, women just don't want that. Like if like they're just like
it's a touchy
thing. And especially because they know you could just get a new one. So they like I just want the like I feel like if they could do that to men, they would. They just can't.
And especially at this point, like you said, this is relationship status, not just fucking you status.
Right.
This is like, because at that point you're committing to a lot.
Right. But then there's this other part of me that's like the older me, that young Sam fully was like, yeah. But now I'm kind of like, man, like you have to accept me and my this like I'm grown now. Like, bro, I'm not finna just be out here flipping willy-nilly for you. Like it comes with all this.
Do you boil
dishwasher?
Okay.
Dishwasher
safe.
Dishwasher.
I like this though. This is great knowledge because I feel like a lot of people again don't talk about it, but it is a big thing. And also like how that is sexually for you because you have to feel good about it as well. Like that's how your pleasure points, your all those things. Where it's like, where it's like you don't want it to be awkward for the person either. It's already, like you said, you want it to be surprised. You want it to feel like authentic as it can be in your situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
So with that is like, what would be your signature go-to move? Do you have one? Like you're a wrestler, like
a wrestler.
Like, are you doing like pile driver to these girls? Are you doing like doggy? Are you doing like? Because I've done. Wow, that's deep. I've let someone strap me on, but mainly, honestly, if I'm being real honest, it's been a couple, like 3 times, and it's all been really smaller girls because I wanted them to feel the dominance of what that was to someone as like me because I could play both. I'm a dominant person, but for me in those situations it's work, so so but there's a signature move. What is it, Sam? The Sam J move.
All of my signature moves don't really have anything to do with like in it. It's like all the shit to build up to.
So really good dirty talk.
I'm like a good because I really want like, okay, this is so,
your mouth game is great.
This is so toxic. Like, all right, if I fuck you, I really want you to like love me. Like I'm a psychopath. Like, which is bad, I think, especially because sometimes it's like I know I'm just fucking you, but I'm gonna go like. I'm gonna do everything like I can.
You're on demon time.
I'm on demon time. Like I want you to be
this
like
this person's gonna remember who I
forever,
fuck, and they're gonna know this and be imprinted in your head.
Forever.
Okay, makes sense.
No matter how committed I am to the situation, which is not necessarily healthy. So like
this is an open space. Feel free to text us without the PhD.
So like,
right here.
Like I'm a real like love making ass person, you know, which is why my girl would hate when I cheated because she's like, I know you're giving up way too much in these situations because you're just not that type.
That's a lot to unpack, but
so,
your girl is when you're cheating. Got it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So like I'm gonna do, and I'm a girl who's fucked dudes.
Okay.
So I also know like what to do. Like it's diabolical. Like if we're in conversation and you tell me like where you have an insecurity in your body, like I'm gonna go there first and kiss it and be like that's part's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sick in the fucking head.
I can see why I've never dated a Capricorn because that's some shit.
Real diabolical work.
I'm a Gemini, so I get it, but I don't operate like that. But I understand people who do, and not in a sense whatever. But again, it's
well, because I just want you to be like we're fucking. I want you to be as open as possible, so this could be like the best
and it comes
experience.
Yes, it comes from a rooted other issues of things. That's why I say this is a safe space of those things and awareness of all of it. But it all makes sense because that's how you were taught, in a sense, of where you feel safe in your highest sexual self.
Wow, yeah, mate. You better, come on, Dr. therapy. Texas. Come on. Shit. Mind blown. Yeah.
No, not probably. It is.
Yeah, okay, relax. All right.
No, I want you to let it soak in. But the thing is what I love is like you're honest about it, and the thing is like even with that being the awareness of it is like sometimes why it's like we have all the answers to what we have is because when we have conversations like this and we talk about things like this, and again this is probably something that you may talk to like your closest friends or whatever, but we just met, right? So it's like, but it's also a comfortable, inviting, situation. Is like, I think also it's important for your fans and my fans to get to know people for who they are, not just your craft.
Yes, absolutely.
But knowing of like what we do doesn't define us of everything but you're telling your truth. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, no, it's true. So
let's hear about your diabolical shit.
Yeah, so yeah, like, so
you're going to the cores of like what people are going to fall for.
Yes. Sexually.
Yes.
Sexually, not like in practice of relationship.
But
sexually, yes, absolutely.
But in tune unlocks other doors.
Yeah.
Throughout that. So and that's the diabolical part. But yes.
Yes. But so I'm not in it just like trying to fuck. You know what I mean? I'm like.
But also in a bigger part is you want to enjoy yourself. And at that point, at your highest peak, you're feeling good, you're operating, like everything's the juices are flowing.
I also want the you have to offer.
And only demons can unlock that.
So I need to know. Like I'm trying. That's why I'm here to find. Like why else would I?
I joined porn. Maybe you should have.
So I know that's what makes it bad. I'm just out here in the streets.
Only
that's
fans.
not good. But boom. And then so for me, it's not necessarily like about a certain move. It's like because once we're in that space, it's just like a mutual giving and taking.
So you more of a mind fucker. That's your move.
I guess.
Okay. I'm learning a lot here. I like this.
Damn.
It's not a damn, it's a wow. Okay. We need to you need to move into the energy of, what pleases you? Is it because they're falling and over you and that's what makes it whatever?
Yeah, it's complete like egomaniac shit.
But are they doing something to you in the return of like that?
What? When you're, despite what people think, when you're strapping somebody, like it's rubbing on shit is happening. Like she's grinding on it, all that shit is happening. A bit of it is the suspended fantasy of it. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can, if she has grip, you can feel that shit pulling at the strap for sure. Of course,
and reactions, it's emotions, it's like what you're doing,
kissing, touching, all that kind of stuff. Head for sure. You know what I mean?
So you would say that you like tits before ass?
I would say yeah. Probably.
Okay, you said before you said anything else, so I would
yeah.
say like for like we're sucking, doing
Sucking.
things.
And
this is, and when we say this, is this on your partner or you're receiving this?
Both.
Okay.
Both.
Okay. So, and then walk us through this as far as like the pleasuring of those things, right? Because you're the dominant one in the situation. You're doing the sneaky and we're doing all the things. Your girl is coming.
It's slick. It's not sneaky.
It's sneaky and sneaky. I don't know. There should be a crossword in between because it's like you're also, and I guess but the sneaky part is more from the sense of like the surprise element of like you want it to also be enjoyable where it's not like being a whole presentation and putting on this thing. So I get that too because it takes away from the moment.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's
so
exactly.
Like, so
I just want to keep the moment going.
So I get that. But like so like when you're after she's strapping on, do you take it off then and then you're getting head, or is then it's complete and then it's just done? Like where is that? Because at that point, it's rubbing on you.
When do
yeah.
Sometimes I might come grabbing and I'm like,
that's what I'm saying. Because sometimes you're rubbing and that's like the rubbing.
Good.
It's almost like you're doing scissoring.
Yeah, like I'm good. I don't know why I didn't get like that girly, like girl gene.
Okay.
But I don't need to like sit around and times. You know what I mean? Like that's not really,
I have to.
That's not necessary for me.
It's definitely
so
necessary.
It's like if I once I'm kind of like, all right, that's
pissed.
cool. I could go do some other shit, and maybe like if we chilling, then okay, we go get cool. But it's not like I don't need that.
So what's the most of the times you
in my like life in a row?
Sure, because it doesn't
like
sound like
in
a lot.
row.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a lot.
Nah, not a lot.
Like how many?
I don't. Maybe 2.
Put on the table. Maybe 2.
Yeah, maybe 2.
That's it.
Yeah, because I really don't. I really don't want that. Like once I'm like, go away, kind of like for a minute at least. Like get off me. Of course, like for a minute at least. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't.
For a minute, go in the corner. Don't touch me for a minute.
But like I don't need all that again.
So you don't want the person like touching you afterwards.
For sure, it's fine, but I don't need it.
Got it. So
like if it didn't happen and we just mutually rolled over and went to bed, I'd be like, that's fine too.
So you're not a cuddler.
I can be.
Okay,
but I don't
it's not
like.
your
I
thing.
don't.
You don't.
It's not my thing.
You don't like being touched, really.
Not a lot like that.
Okay.
I know this is why I'm having issues.
Do you like being spanked? Have you ever been spanked?
I don't think in a way that I could respect to make an honest call
like
on that.
And I don't think you have issues. I think everyone has issues, right? And let's be honest. Like I think again, it's the honesty of like when we have these conversations, things come out. You're like, yeah, let's think about this a little bit different, or like whatever. I think it's intriguing, and that's why I think that for me, I'm such an empath and I'm such an open sexual person. That's why I make the joke of Dr. Texas, but without the PhD, is like I just have life and like sexual knowledge. So I use that and then tune it all into my own recipe of what is private talk. But
sex can tell you a lot though.
It does, because I think that shows where you show up and how you, and like when we talk about love languages and like how you give and receive things and how you need things is also too in a sense of where intimacy is different for everybody. And I think that that's, something that some people are not taught. Some people are taught things that are maybe not ideal. And then some people just learn things throughout the, the process. So it's like when you really have a partner or someone that's like open with you to like navigate those things together, you kind of unlock certain things about yourself that you wouldn't have known without that. And that's why for me, why I loved porn was my career did that for me is because I'm such a person on where we are in the study of like what the environments that we were in and like why we do things to make it make sense.
Yes.
And so it's like in those safe spaces of like me being allowed to be a sexual person and not knowing exactly if I liked girls or guys or what, or I knew I always liked guys, but I didn't know if I liked girls and guys together or what that looked like, was a safe space for me to explore that, which was such a beautiful thing of how it kind of portrayed was because at first it was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I like it. And so it's like, again, how like you say, like when you know someone you're doing it a certain way, or when you're not, where it's like sex life, it shouldn't be forced. It should be an organic certain things and everything we do in our crafts, if it's business, sex, from everything. And so I think that comes along, that there's kind of like a maybe a recipe and a formula of how we do things.
No, absolutely. And you're right. It's rooted in shit, because I wasn't from like a touchy family. Yeah. I know I was loved. I was very loved. I felt very loved by my mom. I felt very protected and loved by my brothers. How old are you? I'm 43. Okay. But I'm like, we weren't a super huggy, touchy.
But I think it's also in the time of like, and we joke around with my friends, like we say the era, but it's like the era of those times of, that wasn't something that our parents did. Yeah. Because the generationally of what that was is like, love is in different forms different. Some people don't give and show and receive love those certain ways. So it's like, the like words sometimes are words, and sometimes touching is uncomfortable unless it's your intimate partner. So it's like, then you navigate what those things look like. So
and even that is like when it's time for touching. Like if you touch me at an off time, I'm like, whoa, why you like, what's up?
But those are the things I think sometimes that we don't realize. But in these conversations of leaning into, but why? Because it's like when you have a loving partner, or you have someone just that you're being intimate and having fun with, it's like sometimes there's a line that needs to be crossed because it's an intimate thing, or it could be intimate, right? And then, but sometimes maybe you're not ready for it. Like I had a friend that was like, only wanted to do anything intimate in a bed, like outside life, whatever. He's like, this is when you do those things. I'm like, but how do you know to do that prior to that? And like, how do people know the foreplay and sense of flirting and knowing those things because that's not how everyone operates. Can people understand that? Yeah. But it's like, people are meant to be loved. People, I feel like, don't show enough love. I think that people think that love is weird sometimes. And people think that when people kiss and hug and they're not in a relationship, they're like, oh wait, you're fucking. Like, no, it doesn't have to be that. Right. But love is exuded in different ways, and I think that it's fun to like see people like yourself who's so open, and you talk about, and you do you write about, and your jokes and stuff sometimes are sexual, of like you navigating your stuff too.
Facts.
Hey, what's your favorite position? I know you don't have a go-to. But what's the go?
Probably doggy.
What's the one that like when you see her
probably
doing
doggy.
Something? Okay,
I like to see the look back.
Okay, are you the one doing the dirty talk, or are they?
Both.
Can I have an example of your dirty talk?
Oh, that's crazy.
You good with your words? I know it. So look, you don't even know.
Damn.
What if you surprise sneaky? And you came out the bathroom, what would you tell me?
I never said it was dark real quick. Like, let me think. I feel like without the action, all my dirty talk sound like corny.
No, but how do you know? Let's hear it. Let us be the judge.
You feel that taking good. You're being a good girl. Throw a couple of good girls in there.
Oh, good girl.
Still say the even if I don't know.
Because you know it is.
Because I know it is. Or I can hear that shit on the encouraging words.
What's the one that if you were getting, the rub and the right thing, and you said that, and it was like, what was it going to be?
I don't be making those. I don't do those noises.
Would.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm saying when she's that.
I keep all my girl noises way down.
I'm the girl doing it to you. So when I'm doing that, and at the look back, what would be that thing you just told me?
Oh, I would just be like, oh, fuck, bitch, damn, or something like that. Like, I don't even know what to say, you know what I'm saying?
And I would say what? What you say? Okay. Get it. What were some of your biggest influences comedically growing up?
I love these transitions.
I know. I feel like all I'm gonna do is talk to you about. And like, but let's see. In porn they are too. They're just a little different.
Really big fan of Dick Gregory and
I'm giving it to you a little easier with a little bit more finesse, so I can walk you out of this. Yeah, biggest influences.
Chris Rock, probably number one comic I saw that was like, I think I get this the most. It just resonated with me in a way that I can't. His style, the fact that it was like high level humor, but it was still black. as hell, and like, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I just mean like at that time, they just weren't showing a lot of diversity of what Black people are in any space, you know? So it was like, all I'm seeing is like Def Jam and Comic View, and I fuck with that style, but it's like there's all types of styles. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And they kind of was showing you the same style over and over and over again. So like when I really discovered Chris Rock, and I was like, it's his high, like political commentary type shit, but still Black as fuck. It still has that like Def Jam feel and edge to it. I was like, holy shit, like you can do that, you know? Yeah. So Chris is like the man to me. Like he is like the ultimate high, like when I met him, I was like, oh my God, like I can't called friends like, dude, this dude knows like who the fuck I am. You know what I mean?
What does that feel like?
Crazy, you know, like the kid in you that kind of like jumps up and down, like I knew it, you know, especially like when they say something affirming, you know, like when Chris told me I was like funny and like good at comedy, it was like,
I made it.
I knew it, you know, like, I wasn't wrong about myself and what I thought, you know, very affirming. I don't know sometimes if those guys even know, they have to know because they probably went through it in their own space, how like truly affirming that type of shit is and how much it could just keep you like going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What was that for you? Is it like a porn star that was like, when they was like, girl, you could fuck, and you was like, you left like crip walking out that bitch?
Not so much, but I feel like, I don't know, I think for me it's been different levels. Like I feel like it wasn't necessarily people in the business saying those things to me. I think it was more of the people that I affected and like had like outside, like because at the time that I was in the business, in the beginning we had a lot of store signings, so like again it's why I liked the like the personal fans, interaction is because that's why we do it and that's why like we're successful.
You talking about those fans who I was gonna kill myself, then I started beating and figured out my life
a little bit, but you know, in some sense, or like, or you made me feel good because I'm a curvy girl, and like you made me feel like because at one point in porn, all girls were super skinny and had really big fake
especially
boobs.
White girls,
and so it was like for me, they were like, you made me feel beautiful.
Sorry, you might not identify as white, but
I identify. It's okay. You can call me what you need to. It's all right. I like it.
I like
it.
But
for me, it was like it was more of the like the body imaging of it. It was like I wasn't the one. Like I used to always make the joke like I'm not afraid to eat on set. Like I'm not starving myself. And like, you know, so like, I feel like in the curvy nation of girls making me like, you made me feel like I was beautiful because you're doing this thing. And so that to me was like, oh, like not only do I enjoy what I do, but it's also giving a message to people. And so if that's the most that I get out of it, it's a beautiful thing. So and for me, it's again, awareness. Like, I think that sex is such a taboo topic to certain people, but why? It's like, you know, people have one night stands and you feel comfortable enough to like have a stranger fuck you, but you can't have make that make sense.
That's
you know what
true.
I mean? So it's like, it should be more open. There should be more conversation of why does it need to be taboo? You know, at one point it was just for marriage and sacred, you know, the sanctuary of those things, but that's not what that is anymore. And it doesn't have to be a dirty, ugly word or something bad or taboo, or like, you know, how earlier we joke about how you feel like confined to being like, you know, dirty if you like sign up to a site because you're like confined to it, whatever. But it's like, why can it be a good thing where it doesn't have to be you're tied to it? But it's like, but I also feel like I understand the chains of what those things and subscriptions also mean as well.
Yeah, now I'm explaining that it's charity. I'm like, you don't even understand what I'm doing.
You know, but it's research. That's what we say. It's research. If you could build your own comedy special, what would be the lineup and who would be on it?
How many people are how many people do I get?
Okay, so how many are typically in a comedy special? Like 4?
Like a lot, like a comedy, like Monique presents The Bad Bitches of Comedy. It'd be like 1, 2, 3, like 4.
There's like 4. Yeah. I watched. I was like, I'm pretty sure there's like 4. So let's do 4. First, I'm gonna host it.
Dead or alive? Dead or alive?
Dead or alive.
Okay.
I'm gonna host it. I'll take that away from you. And you don't count as one.
Prior. Because I would love to see it live.
Okay. I wish we saw like my soundboard where it's like.
Yeah, prior. Dick Gregory.
Okay. 2 more. Would you include Chris Rock? Okay.
Just because I get to see it all the time.
This is your comedy tour, girl. I'm just on it. We speak things into existence, you know? I mean, we can't bring back people from the dead, but yeah, we can do what we do.
What I want to see, like, early woman in their career. Probably, I'll say early Monique.
Okay. Okay.
Or Monique now.
One more. Who would be the final lineup to your comedy special tour?
Red Fox.
I don't know who that is, but I'm intrigued.
You don't know who Red Fox is?
No.
Hell no, you gotta look at Red Fox.
I just
Sanford and Son?
No.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I know Sanford and Son, but I wouldn't have known that the name of Red Fox.
The old man?
Yeah, but I didn't know that
He's
was...
a stand-up
I
comedian.
didn't know that was two and two together, but
Yeah.
you know, I didn't know he was a comedian.
Stand-up
I knew he was a
comedian.
great...
One of the coldest stand-up comedians ever. He used to
So
wear
you like the
big-ass
old,
chains.
old school. For most of the people that you've like, because
Those are people...
Dead or Alive, so I did say that. But
those
like,
are all
most
people I really wanted to see. Those are all
people.
people I wish... I was doing it as like people I wish I could see that I didn't get to see. And honestly, I feel like Monique is kind of a ringer because I just can't think of a woman right now. But
so
I want a woman in there.
The current now.
So that'll say, okay, like right now in the game running, I'm putting together 4. It's gonna be Chris, for sure, Dave, for sure, Michael Che.
Okay.
And Reggie Conquest, who is a funny up and coming New York comic that I just think is so fucking hilarious.
Okay.
And so different than like what you typically see out there, and just the way he takes risk, and he's super silly, which I enjoy. I enjoy a silly.
Silly's fun.
Silly, smart,
yeah,
kind of vibe, and he's super silly. So I would have Reggie open, yeah. So
okay,
yeah,
I like it. What celebrity would you roast and why?
Shane Gillis, because he's my friend.
Okay, so it would be a fun one to just dive deep a little bit and like get into.
And we
those.
just like have fun fucking with each other.
That's how I came about you, was in the roast.
Oh, yeah.
You were hilarious.
Thank you.
I think that it was, how was it doing that roast on Netflix?
Very crazy because I always downplay scenarios.
Okay.
And like, I don't know if I do that as a thing. You could therapize me right here, but I don't know if I do that to make things not like overwhelming to me. But I never think something's as big as it is. So when Jeff called me and he was like, hey, you think you want to do this roast with Tom Brady? And it was like maybe 2 weeks before the roast. He was like, you know, you ain't got that much time.
I was going to say, it had to be last minute.
If you want to do it. And I was like, fuck yeah. Like, because I'm from Boston. So I'm like.
Perfect.
My first thought is, I get to meet Tom Brady. I'm not even thinking about the task of the roast or like writing it. I'm not even thinking about how much I'm getting paid. I ask none of that. I'm just like, I get to meet Tom Brady.
Great experience.
Absolutely, I will do this thing. So he's like, cool, it's gonna be for Netflix. It's a joke fest. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, cool. He's like, we could give you, you know, if you want to get a couple people together you want to write with, and blah, 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 we'll give you time, blah, 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 zah, zah, zah. I'm like, great. So I hit up Megan Gailey, who helped write on my show, Pause, and just knows sports and is super funny. And my homie Radio Raheem, who's just like super insightful. And we just kind of made our little 3-man group and just started really like digging into the jokes. And I was like, cool. I had the jokes ready. I was headed to LA from like another city. And I'm just kind of thinking like, cool, I'm gonna go knock this little roast thing out for the Netflix as a joke fest. I'm not thinking nothing of it. I'm not even thinking it's gonna be like streamed on Netflix or nothing. I'm just thinking it's for the festival. I don't know if you ever been to a comedy festival, but it's like any other kind of festival. The people who buy the passes go to the shows, they watch them, they fucking leave. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking like, it's just a bunch of people that are Tom Brady fans that have festival tickets that are going to come to this thing, and that's what it's going to be. And then they're like, oh, they're going to stream it live on Netflix. I'm still not thinking much of it because Netflix live streaming isn't even anything really yet like that. They've done a couple things here and there, you know? I'm also just like, I don't know what my brain's doing, but I'm just like, all right, they're gonna stream it on Netflix, whatever. And they're like, yeah, and it's at the Forum, and I'm like, sure, cool, fine. Get there.
I think this is called departmentalizing things, but okay.
Get there, and they like bring me to my trailer, and I'm kind of looking around, and I'm like, wow, they got a lot of like action going on out here. It's a lot of
She's like, wow,
fucking insane. But I'm like, they got all these trailers out here. Oh wow, this kind of a lot of stuff going on. We at the Forum. It's crazy, baby. You know, but I'm still
LA
playing it light, just like yeah, whatever. Not thinking this is Tom Brady, of course, but nothing. So then they're like, yo, do you want to like go up and rehearse, you know? And I'm like, I'm wearing a suit at this point. Like I know I got a suit, but I'm just thinking because they want it to really feel like a roast. So I go up to like stage and sound check, and I'm standing there and looking at the crowd, and then they got this like very nicely like arranged area, and they got the little placards like the fucking Grammys or the Oscars, and it's like Kim Kardashian, this, and they got the little cutouts, and I'm like, oh shit. My heart started beat. I'm like, fuck, Kim Kardashian, like. And so I get off stage, and
I love how that out of everything, even the roast being Tom Brady, you see the Kim Kardashian
cutout thing. I was like, oh, fuck. I love this. This ain't just like people falling through for some shit. That's really what I'm thinking. So I'm like, oh, and then I'm looking like, so they gonna have people see that, then all this shit's gonna be like people. Yeah. So I get off and I see like the stage. I'm like, fuck. Mind you, I know Kevin Hart. I know all this already, but I'm just like, fuck. So I get off and I tell my manager, Kara Baker, shout out to her. I was like, so this is like a big thing, huh? And she was like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
She's like, you're just asking me this now? She's like,
Sam, what the fuck is wrong with you? This is top. It's the roast. There's a red carpet. And I'm like, okay. So then my brain kicks into like, holy shit, you like this
we're
is
in it.
Something. We're in it, you know? And then that. So that's how it felt. I just like dumb at first and then just completely overwhelmed.
Well, you did great. I mean, you did a great job. I feel like, is there anything that you feel like you could have maybe done differently, or did you feel like you did what you needed to do?
I wish I would have just like played a little bit more. Like when I was throwing stuff at Bert,
you're a little safe.
He was actually throwing stuff back, but I didn't like go back because it was like so much time. It was tight time. It was like you had to kind of do your time and get out of there. Yeah. And I knew I was the most unknown person to people on the roast. Like to the comics, everybody knew me very well. Yeah. But I knew to people who were gonna be tuning into this roast, I was like, who is this black dyke right here, you know?
She the truth.
So I just wanted to like get the jokes the fuck off. You know what I'm saying? But if I regret that.
Okay. Well, I think that you did a great job. You definitely made a statement of like, you know, you weren't having sex with all these people watching the Netflix special, but you know, you did leave your statement on them, diabolical or not.
Thank you.
Is there ever been a joke that didn't land so well? And how did that? How did you maneuver that?
Did it not land? I've had a joke that didn't get received the way I thought it would be received, and that was a lot for me because it like blew up on the internet a little, and I felt really like fucked up about that because it was like that's not how I meant it, and that's not how I felt. But that's how like it just went left on my first special, and it was my first special too. So I was like, why does the controversies happening like my first time out?
Gotta work out the kinks.
Yeah, but you know that special 3 a.m. on Netflix it just got listed by Time as one of the top 25 specials on Netflix, and I made that special like 4 or 5 years ago now. And people just really love that fucking special. Yeah. So I'm still glad with every part of it. But I did this joke where I basically said like, you know, trans people gotta stop like shitting on trans women, like trans women are women too. But then I go on and say like, and we need them, you know, because like who the fuck is gonna like stand up for us as women? Like we like the longer version of that never got on Netflix is like, how you think we gonna break into football and all this shit, bitch? Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know, they're like our X-Men. And then I was like, because if you get in a fight or something outside the club, they'll knock a nigga out and he'll be confused. Like, I felt punch. I ain't seen no but I felt And then people were very upset with me. And gay people and trans people and people of my community just felt like I had totally betrayed them. And like, you could Google Sam J transphobic right now and tons of think pieces will come up about it. But it hurt me because I really thought I was advocating, but I was just advocating and being comedic. You know what I'm saying? And I just thought it was just so misunderstood and like where I actually was coming from in my heart with the joke. And I think being black and gay and like on Netflix, I feel like the gay and trans community just wanted a champion and not like, but it's like, I'm a comic, man. Like I gotta do it with comedy and the way I see fit. Also, some people just don't watch X-Men, so they didn't fucking understand the joke. In all honesty, they thought I was saying that trans people were mutants, but I was like saying they're an evolution of sexuality and gender in the same way that the X-Men were an evolution of humanity and just what's next. And that was like the whole point of the comic book was like evolution, you know? Humanity has to evolve like everything else and we should be open and accepting to that. And if you really read X-Men, fuckers, X-Men is the cool name to call them that Xavier calls them. Mutants is the bad slur name like nigga. But people don't read X-Men and I'm a dork. So also I think it was partly that. But yeah,
but
that fucked me up a little bit.
To do with the conversations again, we go about communication is like, I also like, with that being said is like, do you feel like who you are in your community and how you are as a comic, do you think that has kind of altered the way where you maneuver jokes now? Or do you still kind of lean into it? Because I feel like sometimes these problems sometimes happen because of why it's a target is because it hasn't happened enough times to have a yes or a no or anything or a stance on something where it's like sometimes you may have to be like push those envelopes to make these conversations be like, no, that's not what I'm saying. Or the bigger meaning of like the whole thing didn't come out on Netflix because this is what the meaning is like, I feel like there still should be comedic relief. There still should be those things because the same thing with music is what drives people.
Right. I do think for a while I ran away from it, like, because it was my first special and everyone was yelling at me. And I was like, damn, like,
I didn't do anything.
I'm about to be canceled before I even get to start off of some shit. I was just like, maybe I just shouldn't talk about that at all. Yeah. Because it's not worth whatever's going to come behind it. But I'm a lot. Like, I've grown in just in comedy and who I am and all that kind of stuff. So now, nah. But at first, it was an initial, like, I'm going to just, like, back away from this type of thing for sure.
But now we're getting into it. All right, so this is my favorite part. We're going to Truth with Texas.
Okay.
I know we've gone all over the place. We've gone from
this whole thing wasn't truth
to
with
here
Texas?
to this. It's always truth at Private Talk with Miss Texas. But we're getting a little bit more sexual. I know we've already kind of dabbled, and you've been a really amazing, open person, and I appreciate you, giving us that here at Private Talk. So are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Let's dive into it. When did you first realize your sexual identity, and what was that journey like for you?
I was like late to that too. I would probably say I was like 24 when I started to be like, I think maybe like girls. And it was kind of just like a lights on thing. I wasn't like struggling with sexual identity or anything. I wasn't like, I hate having sex with men. I don't like this. I want to be gay. It wasn't any of that. It just was like I was fucking dudes and I was just like, I don't like this. And like, I don't know why I don't like this. And like, because I had a boyfriend for a long time.
Did you ever?
Yeah, but I just didn't care about it in the same way that I felt like all my friends, my girlfriends was caring about it, you know? Like, I had a boyfriend for a long time, and I loved him, so it was fine fucking him. And I think, also, I was just young, and I didn't really know anything about myself sexually yet. And then after we broke up, I was more dating around, not in a, like, exclusive thing. And I'm just like, I don't get this. Like, this is not a thing I need to, like, like, the way my homegirls be talking about this shit. Like, I just...
But do you feel, does that interaction change now with females?
Yes. So I just was like, I don't know what's wrong, but like, it's fine.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Also, like, I'm living in Atlanta where it's like black gay Mecca type shit. And like, women are hitting on me and shit. And I'm like kind of interested. Okay. I'm not 100% sure, But I'm like, this isn't turning me off. Or not making
okay.
me. It's not making me go like, whoa.
Yeah.
Then none of those like alarms are going up. I'm kind of just like, oh, for real?
Okay.
Type shit. And then I just like comedy, oddly, I start doing some like testing.
Okay.
So I'm like in the gay chat rooms talking to bitches like, is this something I could do? You know what I mean? Before I like take it out into the world, like, do I mind?
And at this point, you've never kissed a girl, never done anything. You just had like flirtatious things, and like, so it's like a little dipping our toe into the thing. Okay.
I'm gonna dip my toe in person.
I'll dip it in there.
I dip my toe in. That's how I do. So then
And that toe never came out. The whole foot just went back. You got dunked in the
So then I was like, I'm gonna go out on a date. And one of my best friends, who I grew up with, my homegirl, I was kind of telling her like, girls keep hitting on me. She was like, you better try that shit. I don't know what made her say that, but I was like, okay, maybe I should type shit. And so I see this Craigslist. This is Craigslist shit. I see a ad from a girl, female. I'm in female for female on Craigslist.
Okay.
And it was just like a girl was just like, I like anime and like chilling, and I'm just looking for like cool, chill people. And she was like a black girl that like anime and want to chill. And I was like, I want to chill.
So you like anime porn?
And actually, I don't like no cartoon porn.
Okay.
I don't like no fake 3D.
I don't understand it, but
me either. It's just not my thing.
But you subscribe to it.
That's the one I should subscribe to. They probably need the most help.
No.
Oh, wrong. Okay.
No. Don't do that. Like, who are the cartoons? Like, where the fuck is that money going to? Like, I don't even know anything about it, so I can't really speak on it. But no. Like, I don't know.
So so I hang out with the girl, and I'm like, oh, cool. Like, this vibe is cool. I think this might like pop up.
Did you kiss
And I'm
her?
kind of like I'm an all in type. You know, it's like, we gonna do it. I'm gonna just do it.
Did you start to make out? Were you the one who did the first move? Did you kiss her?
I think she kissed me first.
Okay.
But I was like, once we was kissing, it was like, we kissed.
So you fucked.
So we
on
fucked.
the first date.
Went down on her.
And that's the first time you've done anything with a girl.
First time I've done anything.
So were you like navigating through that where like, you were like, I don't know what this is, I haven't done it, but I'm just going to figure it out because you're also a female. So we know what we like.
Yeah, and also because I was like the boy one, I was like, ain't no room to be looking like you don't know what the fuck you doing.
Now, is that identified in the beginning of like the roles that are being played?
It's identified by how I dress. Like that's
and just
already,
how you, okay.
Yeah, just how I show up.
But also like that is how you are, like how you show up. But it's like sexually sometimes that role may not be in
not
fact.
in black households. That's not how we
Okay.
We don't do that.
Let me know.
How you show up is how you better be. We don't we don't be playing
I got
that.
some questions then, you know?
Maybe once you're married for a long time, you could turn over and be like, stick.
Okay.
You better show up how you show up. Correct.
All right.
So,
So did this, at this point, because this is also, you don't know what's going on and you also have never done anything.
And I don't know if it's good or bad. I never even like.
But this is also like, exactly. So
and
it's like,
she had a
this
big
is mouth things. These aren't like
no,
strap
I'm not strapping.
on,
This,
we're
no,
not
just
toys.
fingers,
This
mouth.
is off the wit. Like,
Yeah,
you don't,
fingers, mouth. That's it.
So she sat on your face or just opened her legs?
I don't think she sat on my face.
So you just opened her legs.
I think I just was like that. Yeah.
She opened her legs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay. Yeah. I think so.
She's going back right now. What she's doing is it's going back to the memories of like, let me really think about it.
Because I want to tell the truth. Yeah.
I know. That's why I was like, I know you want to tell me the truth.
I won't lie. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think she sat on my face.
Okay. That move.
I never had a and
so what was the first taste like? Like, were you convinced at that point, like, this is where I should be?
Absolutely.
Because you're like, this is more for me than what the I was with this man.
It was like
every time where I was like,
I was
it was like
going
an
down
aha
on her
moment.
Yes, and she was like reacting to it. I was like, oh, I want to do this to mad bitches. Like, that's crazy.
Diabolical. I want to make
I was like, this is nuts. Absolutely, for sure.
Okay. I like it. Do you think comedians are better in bed? If so, why?
I don't. I think we're just very thoughtful people.
Oh, Is that what you think?
Yeah. We're thinking a lot. We're considering a lot. We're analyzing a lot.
Okay.
We're very observant. We listen well.
All right.
You know what I mean? Because we're always kind of picking up on shit, you know? So I think that helps.
Craziest place you've ever had sex?
A parking lot outside, like an outdoor,
Okay.
like parking lot by a club when it was like letting out.
All right.
I'm chill.
Freaky question.
I don't like that you asked me that because anything I say is corny, bro.
It's not. That just means maybe.
I felt judged right there.
Maybe you can spice up your life.
I don't know. I mean, that felt like a lot to me.
All right, let's do freaky questions. All right, what's the nastiest, freakiest thing you've ever done in bed?
Oh, no.
What is it? Come on. We want the truth. Give it to us. You know?
I like. An ex that I had could speak French, and we were making like avant-garde, like avant-garde like video type. Like we were just fucking around, making freaky videos, and fucking and shit. And I fucked with that.
Which end?
The open end, not the whoa. But it started like
I know some girls, you know. Just asking.
Jesus. But it started like champagne in it, and like I fucked her with it, and then we drank it, and then we fucked.
Naughty.
I think that's like cause spitting in the mouth now, that's freaky. So I think I would say that was the most like, ooh, we doing stuff. Again, I don't want to do none of this. I'm not, man. Go ahead.
What's wrong?
Go ahead.
What are you pouting about? You don't want to do this with what?
Cause
you're
not gonna feel like none of my stuff is freaky.
But why? Like for me as I am not a judge or a jury over here. So what you do is what you do.
All right, fine.
All I could do is stimulate you to make you.
It's just like if I was putting you on the spot, like, yo, tell me like the funniest joke you told.
I'll tell you.
And then you lay it, and I'm like, yeah, okay. You know, it's like, damn.
And I would still be like, I'm fucking funny. And if you didn't think it was funny, fuck you too. Motherfucking call the cops. Funny. But it's all good times. I don't feel like, for me, it's like, let's say this. I got into porn for a reason. And my freakiest times is what I did in porn because it was a comfortable and safe space. So my personal freakiness, you may not think it is, but I am freaky. But who knows, you know? It's just a safe space. Miss Texas.
Right, sure.
All right. Would you say you're more dominant or submissive in the bedroom? Or does it depend on the vibe? Have you ever, obviously you exude this dominance, you talk about the strap on and like being that one, whatever, but has there ever been a time where it's been a switched role in a sense? And not where you've been strapped on, but like.
I think I definitely have like a more submissive side, but I have to like really fuck with you for you to get that.
So would you be in a relationship with someone who is more dominant than you, in a sense of where like you were getting fucked, maybe not all the time, but half and half,
like with a strap on,
possibly whatever y'all's comfortability was, because I feel like there's different levels, right?
But what do you mean by like just define getting fucked?
I get for you, I think sometimes when you say fucked, like there's a power move for you, right? And I think that that's why there's a disconnect of why you think there's saltiness behind what your facial is right now. But as far as like being dommed by your partner at certain times, and that could be just being fucked, but that doesn't mean that there's anything to that.
No, but I'm saying like, do you mean getting fingered? Do you mean
it could be? That's what I'm saying. The levels could be far. It could be like, I don't know your boundaries, so I don't know your sexual things. So it's like sometimes you could be a switch hitter, right? So maybe you can be fucked.
Nah,
sometimes.
I don't be getting fucked out here.
Okay, so then that's your truth. No. So that's the thing is. So maybe it's fingers, maybe it's dominant of how she speaks to you or whatever. My thing is
I don't mind
more
that.
A sense of like, is there ever a time where a partner could dom you in a sexual sense where you could be submissive and still get off to that?
If I guess I'm being dommed, like, if I'm being dommed, but my ego still being stroked. Like, if it's like, you gon' is good and you gonna do what I say type shit.
Okay. So you still need the validation of knowing that you're still the dominant one in the scenario, even if you're being fucked. We're gonna have to have a whole other session after this because Dr. Texas has a lot of notes.
I don't like this, but
Speak your truth, though. Say it with your chest. Don't sneaky strap on me. Don't sneaky strap on me.
I guess, yeah. I'll say yes.
But don't I guess and walk like I walked you into a corner. I want it to be your truth.
No, you didn't walk me into a corner, but I mean your assessment,
revealing your truth.
Your assessment is correct because I still want to feel like the thing.
So no part of you, and again, this is just we're hypothetical,
or at least
right?
not even that I'm the thing, but at least that's why that's like maybe it is I'm the thing because it's like that it made you dominant.
So let me ask you this in a hypothetical question, right? So what if I you and I fucked you with the strap on and I fucked the shit out of you? Would you allow that?
Let's describe.
This is this is me putting, like you said, like is the sense of me putting on a strap on without your knowledge, but knowing that I'm being in a sexual setting with you, right?
Where strap-ons could happen.
Yes. Yep. So I'm doing that. That's why I'm saying sneaky, because it's like I'm not just being like, hey, I'm gonna go put this strap on. Yeah. It's me like presenting something that's already being done, right? So we're in a setting where it's everybody's copacetic.
Yep.
Would that be something you would entertain? Or have you ever?
I've never.
Okay.
I can't say it's impossible, but I would really, 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 really have to be fucking with you.
Okay. So for you at that point, it's like more deep, because it's more. There's
and then I don't know how much I would even, how long I would be able to entertain it.
Okay, but that speaks again a lot because the sense of that means for you, you could never have loss of self-control to make you allow.
But I'd be.
Yeah, but not if I was in control of the. You have to be in control of your own. I'm on anybody's factor, is what I'm saying.
That's probably very true.
And that, I mean, that's not something that's not uncommon, myself included. Like, you know, and other ways true. Is like, I always say too, is like, there's people who are good fucking me, right? But it's also, I allow you to be able to fuck me, not only physically, but mentally to untap the wild or diabolical, whatever side that comes out in those things. You know what I mean? So the freaky comes out. I'm just asking, you know, just see where we're at. Do you like dirty talk?
Yes.
Do you like it being given or do you like to receive it?
Both.
Okay. Does that make
Yes.
If you had to rank your oral game on a scale of 1 to 10, what would it be?
It's high, past 10.
Past 10. Oh, so it's off the Richter scale.
That's how confident I am.
Okay, I like the heat. It's just it's out there in the abyss. It's like the iCloud. You don't know where the fuck it is.
You can't really contain it to numbers.
Okay. Worst hookup story you've ever had? Yeah,
so
that one.
I don't want to say I was down bad, but I was in a space and I was engaging in activities with a lady I shouldn't have been for a multitude of reasons.
Okay. Was this like a cheating situation?
No,
or
just
like you were in a situationship that you were fucking around
just like
too much more?
This ain't it, and I know this ain't it, and I shouldn't be over here doing this because on no level is this what I should be over here doing.
Gotcha.
And
just like the floor situation.
Yeah, and so she invites me over, and I come over, and I was coming from some type of comedy thing that was sponsored by Jack Daniels, so I had a little book baggy thing with full of bullshit Jack Daniels.
Were you partaking in Jack Daniels at that night?
I don't drink Jack Daniels, but I was drinking. Okay. But I don't drink I can't whiskey, scotch. I call those things like war liquors, like for the veterans. Like I don't know. You got to really go through some shit to drink.
There's like some medicine in that.
Yeah, the way that shit hit, I'm like, I haven't lived enough life for whatever this is supposed to be for. So I come over and she tells me it's all good, come by, da 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 da. And I get there, and there's a dude sitting on the couch. So I'm like, oh, that must be her cousin or some shit. He just watch. He like, what up? I'm like, what's up? He like, she in the room. I'm like, okay. So I go in her room, and she closed the door, and she like, that's my baby daddy.
Oh.
She had a kid too, so the kid's in the other like front room. So like the living room's here, there's a front room here, there's a kitchen here, and then her bedroom's here. So her kid's in that room in his like playpen or whatever cage she had this kid in. So I'm like,
that should be red flag number 1.
I'm like, what? It was late as fuck for the kid to be in the play. I think he might have been in his crib, but he was just up. But anyway, I'm like, that's your baby daddy. And she's like, yeah, he about to leave. Da-da-da-da-da. They had been fighting. She was like, this nigga, da-da-da, we been fighting. Like, you know, and I'm like, holy shit.
Did she introduce you to baby daddy?
No. I just said what's up to him thinking he was just somebody and then came in the room and she starts breaking down to me.
What was going on?
They been fighting. He about to go. And I'm like, I'm out of here, bitch. You know what I mean? And she's like, no, don't go. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And my homie had dropped me off. This is like early comedy. I'm broke. You know what I'm saying? I'm all the way kind of out of town a little bit with it. Like I'm in Cambridge,
so you
ways out of Boston. I was like chilling. I was gonna fuck, get up in the morning and get out early type shit. So my homie done left. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, fuck, bro. I don't even. I'm stuck in this bitch, kind of like fuck. So I'm like,
was this before Uber?
I think so.
Okay, because that's a whole other challenge.
But even if there was Uber, I couldn't afford it.
Okay.
But I think it was. I think it was.
You don't have a lot of options, basically. Yeah. Regardless of what it is. You can't get out.
So I'm like, I'm bouncing. She like, no, please. Da-da-da-da-da. He really about to leave. We good. We chilling. Da-da-da-da-da. So like, I'm like, cool. I like take off my pants. I'm laying in bed. We like watching TV. Just like talking and shit. She's kind of like touching on me. Whatever.
And he's still there.
He's, I guess, still there. Like at some point, I'm just like... Whatever's about to happen with this dude is about to happen with this dude. Then next thing I know, this motherfucker banging on the door. Boom, 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 boom. Y'all fucking in there? I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, don't. He's hitting the door hard. He's like, you got a dyke in there? And you about to fuck with my son in the house? And I'm like, I don't even have a promotional backpack I got for fucking Jack Daniels. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? She's like, don't worry about it. So she comes out. She's like, fuck you. Da-da-da. You need to get the fuck out. Da-da-da-da. He's like, fuck you, bitch. Da-da-da-da. She comes back in the room, closes the door. Like, don't worry about it. He about to leave. Da-da-da-da. I'm in my pants. The time she went out and came back, I'm up.
Yeah, you're like,
I got my pants back on. I'm sitting up on the bed. I'm putting on my shoes. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing this with you, bitch. So, boom, this motherfucker kicks in the door of the bedroom. And he's like, bitch, I'll fucking kill you in here. So as he goes towards her, I just walk around him and walk out. So I walk out the front door.
I don't know you enough to save you, ho. I need to go.
I walk out the front door. I'm standing on the fucking like street. I'm blowing my nigga up. They not answering. I'm blowing them up. I'm like, fuck. What the fuck? I hear them arguing. Da, da, da. He's like, bitch, what the fuck? She's like, you better get out here if I call the police on you. You know you on probation type shit. I'll get your fucking ass locked up. He's like, you're trying to get me back, you stupid bitch. Da, 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 da. So then he runs out the crib, like out the back.
Then you run back in?
Of course. So he goes out. He's out. So I'm like, cool. This shit's over with. This homie done run off. You know what I'm saying? He ain't coming back to this motherfucker. It's all gravy.
He came back.
We back in the room.
Your pants are off.
I'm back and chill. No, we in the living room.
Oh.
We in the living room. Like we in the living room chilling. We sit on the couch and she like, please stay. Like, it ain't that. He gone. Da-da-da-da-da. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. So we talking. She talk about how fuck him. She say all the shit she feels about him. This nigga comes out of the baby room.
Oh.
Like he went around, came through the baby window. It was in there, I think, by the time I even came back in the house. Because she had to convince me to come back in from the street first. So we was talking.
Waiting out in there?
Bro, so she's saying like, fuck him, da-da-da. And he come bust out the baby room like, I'm back, nigga. I was like, yo.
This is like a hookup?
Fuck?
This is supposed to be a hookup.
Word. So she really calls the police this time because she's like, I'm not playing with you. So he's like, you really trying to get me back? I hate you. I'm never coming back. So he leaves. So I stayed. And then I left the next morning.
So you...
Yeah, but like...
You were over it already.
Yeah.
That's traumatic. I feel bad for you. That's a lot.
It was crazy.
I mean, that's a lot.
It was nuts. It was nuts. There was a lot of times I didn't know what was going to happen, but I had already just done so much, and then at some point it was like, you might as well just hit, bro.
Let's be honest. If you you could afford the Uber, you would have been out the first time.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. My poverty kept me there.
That's some bullshit.
My poverty kept me there for real.
Hey, but it made you stronger.
It did. It did.
Hey,
it did. That's how it worked. You know what I mean?
Well, that's Truth with Texas. You know, we're gonna end on a sketchy note. You know what I'm saying? But I want you to ask Miss Texas 2 questions. What you got for me?
Oh, damn.
I'm gonna put you on the spot. You did so well. You know, you broke it down. You really played Truth with Texas the whole game.
Two joints. Okay. I want them to be good.
Me too. Don't make me dead it real quick.
Nah. I don't want it. I want you to have to think. That's why this is hard.
I'm a thinker.
Gemini is tough. Okay.
You see how I didn't even do you dirty. I didn't even ask you about your situation.
You did. You know? I appreciate that.
Yeah,
you're a good person. I really appreciate that.
Hey.
What? Because you are having sex and being open and being sexual in like public spaces, that feels public, right? Would you call it camera crew, people looking at shit, kind of public?
Yeah.
Right.
The world sees me fuck.
Yeah. What does privacy look like for you? What is privacy for you?
Privacy for me is my personal life. For me is I give so much of myself like for work and like sexual things like on, you know, film and stuff like that. I hadn't shot porn in over 5 like plus years, and then I did my own stuff for my OnlyFans, so I do that types of stuff. But it's like doing it in my own way, right? So I feel like it's intimacy. I think intimacy to me is not a part of porn. Porn is more sexual and like very like animalistic and primal, where it's like, that's why I like make, you know, the joke of like, I'm a sexual athlete. Like I'm doing a job, but there's no emotion. There's no anything like that, where it's like in my personal time, there's emotion and there's more like feeling towards, and no one's watching you. It's more closed up, where it's like porn is like more being like advertised. So it's like, you can't, like you're opening up to the camera. You're not fucking like you would normally fuck someone at home. So it's like those intimate times in between is that is for me.
The intimate sex times?
Like intimacy.
Just
like,
period.
Yeah, intimacy period. I feel like for me, porn for myself isn't intimate. It's sexual. Where my personal life is more intimate and personal.
I have a follow-up, but I don't want it to be my second question.
You can have a follow-up and then, yeah.
Okay, so then could you ever see yourself, because you know, like with reality TV and stuff like that, people are giving away that intimacy. Is that intimacy so sacred for you that you could not do that?
You know, I've been asked a lot to be on reality TV things and whatever. For me, I feel like I could play more of a producer role. Is because for me, then now you're really being more intimate into my private life. And that's something that I'm not really willing to give up. For me is, I like my private space. I like to allow people, even with my podcast, it's allowed me to be more vulnerable, but also like talk about my personal times that I wouldn't have to talk about within porn and those things like that, because I don't talk about those things with my coworkers, because what's the point? We're fucking, right?
Right.
So for me is, I like to keep the Alexis and the Alexis Texas separate. Like before, I didn't feel like there was ever, there wasn't a divide. And now within the last, for me, like 5 years, I definitely had to focus on boundaries of what was my time with my friends, my family, and this, and then what's work time and what I'm allowing to show on both sides. All of them are authentic. It's just for me is because I give so much, something that is so sexually intimate to most people is why I have to have such big boundaries for my personal intimacy.
Okay. So now I gotta ask a question to get to the question, just
Okay.
to understand something. How did you grow up? Like, did you grow up religious? Did you grow up conservative? Like, how did you grow up?
So religious, I wouldn't say like we're God based. Like we have a God, you know what I mean? But it wasn't like one religion or the other. What I liked is that we did go to church, but it was more of like Easter and like Christmas, like those types of things where it was like celebratory type of moments, not throughout the year. Within that time, like I also like growing up, I took a religion class, and so I like kind of try to find my faith within those things. I feel like with all of that, I'm more spiritual than anything. But what I love about my family is they just allow us to have the space to be who we are and accepting of who we are. Especially even with my profession, is like I was never like ostracized or never made to feel different, even though the choice of career that I did choose was never made to me to feel like I was an outsider. I think it was more internal problems where I felt that I was going to be that before I was ever felt that way. So yeah.
Okay. So have you ever felt, because people will be like, oh, if you're a porn star, like you're just letting people fuck you, that's crazy, you're just getting like used up and that's nuts and you're just like, run through trash, right? But I feel like you came into, I don't know how you came into it, but I feel like you're just a person who's very kind of like sure of themselves and empowered and is doing what they want in porn. Have you ever felt like that moment? Have you ever had that space where like you're like, I'm just being used right now and like this is fucked?
I think that people want me to feel that way. I think that people, you know, have misconstrued, even when I go back to like communication and with my show, is that, you know, communication is a powerful thing. You know, we may agree, we may disagree, but there's a common ground of what real is real and what is everybody's truth, right? For me, I would say, just like every business, do you feel used in moments because people get over on you on certain things because you don't know things? Yes. But as used as my body, I've always been willingly known what I signed up to do.
I wonder what that moment is for you in porn. Like, because I think people would assume it's a sexual moment, but I imagine it's not.
For me, it's more the empowerment of what I gained from my sexuality. My sexuality gave me a space to kind of encumber the woman that I was meant to be. I feel like sex to me is very powerful, but not in a sense of a diabolical way, but really like educational as well, as like in tune of like what your needs and wants are and like bottom line. And I'm very, again, spiritual and empathetic or like just an empath of life and energy and what that all brings is that we all are made up of the same things and we all want the same things. Some people, you know, harbor those things differently. Some people suppress them. For me is I would rather live an authentic life and be open and honest and free with myself, my body, and my way. And that's what porn allowed me to do, was to do it in a safe space. Is also why for me is what's important with my message of my podcast is allowing guests like yourself and I also feel like comedians and porn stars have a lot of similarities. Where I've had a lot of comedic friends throughout the time, but it's almost like a sense of there's an understanding of just business, but who we are, creatives and not, where it's like, you know, sometimes we not know everything, but it's like it's also on our own way. And you know, that's why like I feel like entrepreneurs of what you are in your craft, you kind of just figure that out. And that's kind of what I did in my field. And my thing is that it just allowed me to figure out who I wanted to be sexually as a female and a feminine influencer, to those to know that you don't have to be shamed because you want to be a sexual person. And I think that, you know, being sex positive is really important to those who want it. And it's not for everybody, and that's okay. And just is like there's not things that for everybody in other aspects as well. Absolutely. It's like you take what I have and you can leave what you don't need and just leave it as that. Dope. Love is love. Love is love. Well, I appreciate you so much. I had a great, beautiful conversation with you. It was really fun getting to know you more. Absolutely. Please let us know where we can follow you, support everything that you have going on.
At Sam J Comic is very easy on Twitter and on Instagram, SAMJAY Comic. Hell yeah.
All right, Private Talk. Until we meet again.